With Monster Hunter Wilds on the horizon, we're going back to Monster Hunter World to relive some of the best builds and hunts of the game. So with that, I'm Darcblade with one of the greatest builds for the light bowgun in Monster Hunter World. Now, each episode is dedicated to just one build and are slightly different from the best of the best build videos. They tend to specialize in either defense, offense, or some other niche aspect of the weapon. Today's video is going to be an alternative version of the anti-Safi Jiva build for the light bowgun, aimed at potentially taking the monster down in a single run. But if you find these videos helpful or informative, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, as it will allow me to make more content like this, not only for Monster Hunter World, but also the upcoming Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, today's build is the anti-Safi Jiva water build. So it's an elemental build focused around water ammunition. And whilst this build is designed to take down Safi Jiva in a single solo run, it is a difficult challenge nonetheless even with this build, but it is still achievable. Failing this, using this build in a group will also help the entire team take down the monster quite quickly. So, for this build, you'll need the full Safi Jiva armor set, which includes the Safi Crested Crown Beta, the Safi Crested Chest Beta, Safi Crested Van Braces Beta, Safi Crested Belt Beta, and the Safi Crested Boots Beta. I'm also using an Awakening Charm 3, and for my weapon I'm using the Safi Aqua Shot. This has been upgraded to have Elemental Capacity level 3, Recoil Suppressor, and attack increases. As for the augmentations on this, I've gone for an Elemental Up augmentation and a Health Regen augmentation. You can drop the Health Regen augmentation if you so wish, but I've taken it for a little bit of extra safety. As for your mantles, these are down to personal preference, but I'd recommend the Rocksteady Mantle and Temporal Mantle for extra survivability. As for the bowgun mods, go for 3 recoil suppressors and a reload assist. This should allow us to fire the weapon fast enough and not lose mobility when it comes to reloading the weapon. If you wanted an alternative weapon, using the Alatreon light bowgun would also give you opportunities to build a similar build to this, as well as use other elemental ammo types. Anyway, as for the decorations, first of all I've gone for Stream Jaws to max out the water attack of this build. If you are using the Alatreon light bowgun with a different element, you can replace these Stream Jaws to match whatever element you want to main. I've then gone for Attack Jaws to get attack boost to at least level 4, Fervor Jaws to max out Resentment, Destroyer Jaws to max out Part Breaker, and Expert Jaws for some points in Critical Eye. Some people say you can drop the Destroyer Jaws, but in all the runs that I've actually completed this in, have been using this build with Destroyer decorations rather than more attack focused decorations. So if you've done what I've done here, you'll have a build with 100 health and 100 stamina, which will be 150 health and 150 stamina when you're on a hunt and taking all your relevant consumables. This low health could be an issue considering we are lacking the health boost skill. You'll have a raw attack of 399 with 60% base affinity when your weapon's drawn. You'll unfortunately have high deviation. With the custom mods, you'll have 3 recoil suppressors and a reload assist, and you'll have the Wyvern Blast special ammo. You also have an OK defense of 1061 that is strong against every element, especially fire, but unfortunately weak to dragon. Now, when it comes to the skills, first of all, you'll have water attack at level 6, increasing the water rating and damage of a build. Remember, if you are using the Alatreon light bowgun or another light bowgun that has a different element you want to focus on, you'll replace water attack to match whatever new element you're using. You'll then have Resentment at level 5, which whenever we have a portion of red health on our health bar, will grant us increased raw attack. Raw attack for the light bowgun when it comes to elemental ammo does increase the elemental value, so that is why we've taken some raw attack skills with this build. Also, Resentment is easy to keep activated on this build thanks to the whole Safi Jiva set bonus, which we'll talk about in a moment. You'll then have attack boost at level 4, increasing the raw attack of this build, and at level 4 or above grants us a bonus 5% base affinity. You'll then have ammo up at level 3, increasing the maximum number of bullets we can have in our clip. You'll then have critical boost at level 3, increasing the damage of our attacks whenever they crit a monster, but only applies to the raw portion of an attack, not the elemental portion unfortunately. You'll then have Part Breaker at level 3, increasing how easily we can break monster body parts. You'll then have Evade Window at level 3, which is useful enough as it increases the invincibility frames when we perform dodges and such. You have Blight Resistance at level 2, a byproduct of the armor we're using, which reduces how long blights and ailments stay on our hunter. You'll then have Critical Eye at level 2, which can be potentially level 4 when we're wearing mantles, granting us increased base affinity. As for the set bonuses, you'll have the Safi Jiva's seal set bonus, True Dragon Vein Awakening, which whenever our weapon is drawn, will gain 40% base affinity and an extra 150 elemental rating. We'd also get a bonus status raising if we're using status ammo. But the downside is that with every attack, we will drain some of our health. However, once enough damage has been dealt to a monster, the health that was drained will automatically be recovered, healing us. But it's a risk-reward factor, and something you should be mindful of. Now, before we go into the pros and cons, one aspect of this build you need to be aware of is you have to have your item bar set up that you can craft water ammo whilst you're in the middle of a hunt. So make sure you have an item loadout that has as many flower ferns in it as possible, and on top of that you have your radial menu set up that you craft a single water ammunition one by one when you click it. This gives you the most efficient way to conserve your ammo and replenish it whilst you're actually in a hunt. I would also strongly advise bringing a Farcaster so you can go back to the camp and replenish your loadout, because this build does lack any form of the spare shot skill. If you really wanted to, you could go for the spare shot skill via the razor sharp charm, thus reducing your maximum clip size, but the choice is up to you. Spare shot, for those of you who don't know, basically when you fire your gun, there's a chance it won't consume a bullet. But anyway, every build out there, even the best of the best builds, they all come with various pros and cons. One of the biggest pros for this build is its high elemental damage output, able to bring down potentially monsters like Safi Jiva in a single run without having any energy drained prior to departing. On top of that, this build is excellent when it comes to breaking monster body parts. Thanks to the water ammo piercing through monsters, combined with Part Breaker, you're able to disable monster body parts quite easily. And then finally is the True Dragon Vein Awakening, which grants us bonuses to not only our elemental attack but also our base affinity. But unfortunately there are cons. The two major cons for this build include the fact that there could be potentially survival issues thanks to the True Dragon Vein Awakening health drain, as well as the lack of health boost skills. And on top of that, there can be potentially ammo supply issues with this build, especially as we lack any form of spare shot. But regardless, like I said, this build is designed to take down Safi Jiva in a single run, or make your runs against Safi Jiva quite potent even if it takes more than one run. For me, this is the only build that I've been able to do Safi Jiva in a single run without any energy having been pre-drained from the monster. And I will also be uploading the full hunt of that said run later on, so don't forget to check it out. You can of course augment this build if you want, add health boost if you want more survivability. If you want to use a different element, I'd recommend using the Alatreon light bowgun, and if you don't mind having smaller clip sizes, then taking the razor sharp charm and getting the spare shot skill is also something I would recommend. But like I said, if you're looking for a strong elemental build able to take on Safi Jiva, I'd strongly recommend this one. But what are your thoughts? Please leave a comment down below, and until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing the anti-Safi Jiva water build for the light bowgun in Monster Hunter World. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.